Are you only doing that because of the mic check video I sent earlier today?
No.
I can't hear vocals.
I'm doing it of my own volition.
I don't think so.
My inner voice is telling me to do so. It's also telling me to do a lot of other things, but I won't listen to those.
Mic check this mic right now.
I can't fit that one in my mouth. It's too big. I got a big mouth, but this one's a bit much.
Maybe if you take the wind protecting foam cover off. It loses a lot of size with the foam.
I think that there's a good circumcision joke in there somewhere. I don't know. If you just dig around with a toothpick, you might find it.
My head hurts.
So does mine.
And we're both sober. What the fuck?
Woo! Oh, I love Sunday mornings. Actually, it's the afternoon.
Yes.
Actually.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. It has been a whole 2 weeks for me because we just completely skipped last week because life.
Also, the feds almost found us. We had to run.
Yeah. Colin was just talking too much shit. He does have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. But he is not with us right now. He's in a different location, so please go check somewhere else.
We literally took his phone.
We've had to do that before.
Oh, man. He's Spencer. I'm Jacob. We're here to talk about comic news this week.
I love comics nudes.
Yes.
I've probably made that joke 10% of the times that we've done news.
And it opens with a picture. Congratulations.
And then probably another third is the 3 nude news dudes jokes.
Until
it stopped being 3 of us and Colin just said, I don't like news. Blah.
Yeah.
From DC.com, Batgirl Cassandra Cain returns in a new DC All-In series. Hold on to your seats, clutch your pearls, and rejoice in celebration. Is that a Martha reference? And rejoice in celebration because on November 6th, Cassandra Cain is taking center stage in her first solo Batgirl series in nearly 2 decades, courtesy of writer Tate Tromble and artist Takai Miyazawa. Fuck, I need to read ahead before I say words. Takeshi Miyazawa? Yes.
Yeah, it's Tate Bromble. You said trombone.
I was thinking about that time at band camp, She just can't really get out of my head. I missed that clarinet. When a deadly group of assassins shows up to kill Cassandra Cain, Lady Shiva must come to the rescue, and they're forced to put their complicated past aside and work together as mother and daughter to ensure they make it out alive. Unfortunately, things are never as easy as they seem, and Batgirl must embark on a jaw-dropping martial arts-filled adventure in her quest for truth, justice, and revenge. This is a Batgirl unlike any other, so don't miss the opportunity to dive into the psyche of one of Gotham City's deadliest fighters while exploring her deep and complex relationship with her mother. I'm really looking forward to this because the most recent Batgirls run got canned after I think 14 issues or something, and that was pretty fun. It was really light fare, but I like that. And Cassandra Cain was Damian before Damian existed. And arguably better in multiple ways. I don't know. She very frequently gets the bad end of the stick of the Bat family.
I really don't know much about her. I don't think I've even seen her in comics or anything.
I'll get you a list.
From DC.com, Batman Santa Claus: Silent Night returns. DC Comics today announced a new comic book series, Batman Santa Claus: Silent Night returns by Jeff Parker and Lucas Kettner, coming to local comic book shops this winter, publishing Wednesdays in the 5 weeks leading up to Christmas. But this is comics, so there's always a twist when DC's Santa Claus and Batman are involved. I was blown away at how well last year's Silent Night series was received. Readers really responded to us going full tilt with Norse mythos Santa in the DCU, said Parker when asked for his thoughts about writing the holiday sequel. We followed the old tradition of telling ghost stories at Christmas. Remember the line from It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year? Then, to be asked if I wanted to do another one and have an extra issue, that was the Happy New Year. In the 5 issues of Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night Returns, horrors haunt the Christmas season as life-drained bodies litter the countryside, and marked with a strange symbol. The Justice League responds, but it's a trap. The heroes are pulled from our world, but not before Batman helps Robin escape. Now Damian Wayne must seek out Zatanna and the one and only Santa Claus if there's any hope of saving their friends and family. Santa comes to the aid of the DCU heroes in the crossover event sequel you wished for, and you must have been extra good because a wintry mix of DC's wildest characters arrived this time to face a powerful foe, the Silent Night.
I finally got around to reading this series like 2 months ago. I didn't talk about it on the show. I don't know why.
Christmas in July. I see you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I just had like a giant stack of stuff and I just didn't end up getting around to it. It was really freaking good. Dan Mora did the covers, if I remember correctly, and those were amazing. Batman at Christmas is always good stuff. The snow always mixes well, but like, yeah, Santa Claus is like fucking cool, man. There's no other way around it. So why not do more? From DC.com, Black Canary Best of the Best, Tom King and Ryan Sook team up to create a brand new series featuring DC's bare-knuckle brawler, Mother. Black Canary has earned a reputation as one of the most lethal hand-to-hand fighters in the DC universe. Combined with her trademark Canary Cry, she's a force to be reckoned with. This November, award-winning writer Tom King and artist Ryan Sook are preparing Black Canary for the match of the millennium in an all-new 6-issue series, Black Canary Best of the Best. I've been wanting to tell this story for a few years, and I'm really excited for fans to see what Ryan and I have planned for Dina, said King. He's got the perfect art style for this series, and fans will feel every punch and kick thrown from the first issue to the finale. Black Canary faces her toughest opponent yet, Lady Shiva, in a battle to determine who is the single greatest hand-to-hand fighter in the DC universe. To make it to the final round, Black Canary will need all her fighting skill and ability, plus some additional training from some of DC's most accomplished fighters, including Batman, Wildcat, and even her mother, the original Black Canary. I fucking knew Batman was going to be in this. Black Canary Best of the Best #1 arrives at comic book shops and participating digital retailers Wednesday, November 27th. I am really looking forward to this, but I have a big asterisk next to it.
Big asterisk.
That too. I really like Black Canary, and I really like Black Canary and Green Arrow. Great couple. Very consistently good runs. And I like Tom King, and I've pretty much always defended Tom King, but he's going to this right after doing Wonder Woman, and it feels kind of weird. I don't know. The vibe check feels funny. I have no evidence to support this, but this is yet another like very large book about one of DC's only popular female characters, and it's being written by a guy.
It seems strange to me that Tom King is doing a Who Punches Harder book.
That too.
There's gotta be something else here.
For sure. I'm very interested. It's just like it is purely a vibe check thing, but it's just like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, out of how many maybe like 10 ongoings that are like women led, how many of those are written by women? You know. Just looking at the numbers, it just doesn't quite pass the sniff test.
Harumph.
From
HollywoodReporter.com, James Spader is returning as Ultron for Marvel's Vision series. The Emmy-winning actor is set to reprise his role as the voice of robotic villain Ultron in Marvel Studios' untitled Vision series, the follow-up series to its acclaimed WandaVision show. He first played the role in 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron. Paul Bettany is reprising his role as Vision, the android who fell in love with the Scarlet Witch and then was destroyed by Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. In WandaVision, he returned via magic and the power of grief, but also as a rebuilt android now ghostly white. Terry Matalas, the much-heralded showrunner of Star Trek Picard, is spearheading the new show, which has been referred to as Vision Quest, although that is not the official title, and which tackles White Vision's search for a new purpose in life.
So my excitement went from like Mboko to like
teeny tiny
to like big chunk. Not just because of James Spader, holy crap, 10 years by the time this comes out. That's nuts.
Yeah.
He was fantastic as Ultron, despite some weirdness with that movie and the character. His performance was really freaking good. So there'll probably be some follow-up on, like, that the Ultron head from Homecoming that Damage Control had, I would assume is what they're trying to use as, like, the justifying mechanism for this. This series has gone through so many revisions, it's nuts. But, showrunner from Picard. 2 of those 3 seasons were really good, and 1 was not. So, I don't know. In terms of 1, Marvel has showrunners now.
Yes.
And then 2, they're getting an actual sci-fi guy to do a sci-fi show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Between the 2 sequel series, 2 spin-offs from WandaVision, this and Agatha, this is the one that I was already way more interested in. Agatha is just, like, there, and, like, hopefully it's okay, but, like...
You just want the philosophical white robot.
That, too! But, like, yeah, I mean, yes, obviously. Yes, I want more, like, pop philosophy. It gets me through the day.
He's literally calling.
He is! Meaning he hasn't actually read any real philosophy books? He'll never listen to this, so he'll never know! This will be the one time he listens.
Yep.
From AIPTcomics.com, Kahori Reshaper of Worlds #1 to introduce Disney Plus What If character. Earlier this week, Marvel Comics revealed a new one-shot is on the way. The series is set to debut the breakout character introduced in the Disney Plus show What If from last season, Season 2. Part of Marvel's Voices line of story, the one-shot will feature Kahori's co-creator Ryan Little, with adventures also written by indigenous creators Honey David and Kelly Lynn D'Angela in their Marvel Comics debut, and feature art by acclaimed Marvel artists David Cutler, Jim Terry, and more. The Mohawk warrior Kori fell into the Sky World and into our hearts from her first appearance, fighting invaders to save her home. She's already helped save all of reality from a demented Doctor Strange and secured peace in her own world, so what now? Award-winning storyteller Ryan Little launches Kori into the 616 universe. Chasing a threat out of Skyworld, she lands in the fiery streets of Hell's Kitchen. Daredevil? But culture shock's going to be the least of her problems as her strange adversary tears through New York City. Featuring exciting guest stars and the comics debut of some extraordinary creators, Marvel Voices brings you an extra special anthology celebrating Indigenous heritage and one of the most exciting characters to emerge from the MCU. This was like the only good episode of last season. By a wide margin.
Yeah.
It was super random to have a What If episode that debuted a new character. That was very bizarre. But she's really freaking cool. So I don't know, like finally flopping back into the comics, similarly to what they did with Dreamer from the Arrowverse, I think is neat, wicked cool. And since it's a one shot, I might actually just put this on my pull list. You don't remember?
No, I think I only watched like 3 episodes of season 2, and was like, I'm not following any of this.
Yeah,
it was rough.
Quite.
So she lands in Hell's Kitchen. So she could encounter Daredevil, who, is like the good boy. Or Jessica Jones, and hear fuck a lot. Or Luke Cage, who's also not white. Or Iron Fist, who is white but Asian.
Or she bumps into Echo.
Or Punisher.
It seems like there's a lot going into this one shot. That's a lot of stuff, to be honest, but whatever. Like,
I'm just saying the story changes dramatically depending on who she runs into.
Very, very true. Hell's Kitchen's got a lot of people crammed in for what is a couple of city blocks.
Yeah. The comic, no. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. From comicsbeat.com, an exclusive, Black Lightning faces a culture war in new DC All-In series. Jefferson Pierce is back, and this time he's not alone. DC Comics will publish Black Lightning, a new 5-issue miniseries from writer Brandon Thomas and artist Fico Ossio, as part of the publisher's recently announced DC All-In initiative. The first issue of the series, which finds Black Lightning and his family in the middle of brewing tensions between humans and metahumans, will launch in November. Here's how DC describes the new Black Lightning series. Black Lightning is back, and this time it's a family affair. Jefferson Pierce leads the Justice League's new metahuman outreach initiative, helping those with powers before they can cause harm to themselves or others, but everything changes when it's his own daughter, Anissa Pierce, who comes to him for help. With Thunder's dangerous new powers and the new masters of disaster jeopardizing the coexistence between humans and metas, Black Lightning is on the front line of a culture war brewing in the suburbs of Metropolis. Black Lightning #1 of 5 is set to arrive in stores and digitally on Wednesday, November 13th.
A lot of All In has been announced to be miniseries, which is interesting.
Yep.
Sounds cool, though. I like Black Lightning. His best use, I think, was really in Young Justice, to be honest.
Which I was going to say Knights of Steel.
that would probably be second. Before he gets,
Yeeted.
Yeah. Before, but for the issue and a half, he's actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird because he's in the 2 worst seasons of Young Justice too. But he took a pretty big center stage, so that was cool. I mean, he was also mostly the lead of the other history of the DC universe, and I was a big fan of that. So this is another one that might actually get on my list. From NexusPointNews.com, exclusive Deadman animated series in early development at DC Studios for the DCU. As promised by DC Studios co-CEO Jimothy Gunn, more animated projects will be underway following Creature Commandos. According to our sources, we can exclusively report that one of these will be an animated series centering on the character Deadman. DC Animation's Deadman series is in early development currently with no writers or script in place and has yet to receive the green light. So this was a moderately sketchy news source. I wasn't super hot on it, but I did see it getting repeated by a couple of other more reputable outlets, but this was the original source, so... If it's true, I think that's a really good idea, because Deadman's great and doesn't get used, at all.
Ever.
And I think animation would probably be the best spot for him to start.
Remember that one time I picked up a Deadman book and I hated it? It was my most hated book of the year.
I remember, and then I read it and I was like, this is fine. Yeah, you were
it was poopy.
You were, mad.
Because I want a Deadman book, because he's never used in, anything. And he's cool.
Yeah, every once in a blue moon, he pops up in a Constantine book.
Crisis.
Yeah, that too.
From StarWars.com, Skeleton Crew official trailer and key art revealed. This December, we're ready to get lost in space on a new Star Wars quest asking
Yeah, that sentence doesn't make sense.
Today at D23 we got our first look at Skeleton Crew with the first trailer and key art introducing the curious protagonists Wim, Fern, KB, Neil, and their motley crew, the mysterious and enigmatic Jod Na Nawood, played by Jude Law, and the droid SM-33, voiced by Nick Frost, the decrepit first mate of the Onyx Cinder. The cast also includes Tunde Adebimpe and Carrie Condon.
Mommy!
I don't know any of these people.
Seriously?
Besides Jude Law.
Well...
And I think... Wasn't he Watson in the Sherlock movies?
Yes.
That's really, the only thing I can put his name to.
Damn.
I'm awful at this game. The series created by Spider-Man Homecoming director John Watts. He's got to have a better credit than that, right?
Nope, that's the best of his projects.
Dang.
That's the best of the 3, that's for sure.
And writer Christopher Ford, who also serve as the showrunners, follows along as the kids get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy and have to find their way home, meeting unlikely allies and enemies along the way. Rewatch the trailer now, and then prepare for launch when Star Wars Skeleton Crew premieres December 3rd, 2024 on on Disney Plus.
Finally, this thing's also been gestating for a very long time. I like the original pitch. This is certainly going to be some lighter fare, but also I will protect these children with my life. They're fucking adorable. The trailer was great. Neil is adorable. I need him in a bubble. We protect. Also, Jesus fucking Christ, I really hope the Star Wars fan base doesn't bully these children into, like, doing Jake Lloyd all over again. Holy crap.
This is literally Goonies in Star Wars.
Yes. That's, I think, what the announcement pitch basically was.
Huh.
So, something along those lines, but, yeah. Yay!
It looks fine. Hopefully there's good threads for other Star Wars things in it.
Hopefully, although I do
and not
hope...
just, like, kids go on an adventure.
Yeah, I think it looks like Jude Law's character is basically doing the... what Kumail Nanjiani's character did in Obi-Wan, and is, like, pretending to be a Jedi, but, like, just has some, like, basic abilities if you're lucky. So, that's interesting. I do hope it doesn't, like... lock in with all the Mandoverse stuff. Just like a couple of some connections would be good.
Throw us a freaking Sith we've never seen or something. I don't know.
Just something would be good. But yeah. From Variety.com, speaking of Sith,
give Jar Jar the red lightsaber.
They are doing that in the animated Lego movies.
Do it in Skeleton Crew.
Fucking hell. The Acolyte is dead. Star Wars series won't return for season 2. The Acolyte will not return for season 2. That's what I just said. Lucasfilm has elected not to continue with the Star Wars Disney Plus series following its first season, which depicted the rise of the Sith roughly 100 years before the events of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. The news comes at once as a shock given how much of the season 1 finale ended on a cliffhanger and teased several plotlines for season 2, and not much of a surprise given the wildly opposing reception from fans and a less than robust viewership that appeared to drop off after the series premiere in June. And
I interject. I heard an opinion on this.
Oh boy.
That said, it's not canceled technically. It's just that they didn't pick it up for another season. Correct. So it lies dormant.
Yeah.
But it's still there. It's not dead.
Yes.
It's just kind of dead.
Yes. And basically all of the actors have come forward and said, like, we kind of knew this was going to happen because of how everything's gone. But they've all been hopping on, like, the assorted hashtags and whatnot. So, like, it theoretically can get renewed again. Like, I mean, we did... Yeah. Clone Wars came back.
Right.
So... maybe give it a couple of years if the really stupid fans could chill their fucking gills for a minute. Like, even if you don't like it, I still think this is shitty. Like, because the show, like, television needs time to grow. That's how it works as, like, an ongoing narrative. And when you only have your first season, this happens with, like, Netflix shit all the fucking time, which we'll get to more of, too. Like, it was rough. Okay, well, you need to make it better. You need more time to work on it.
Right.
Like, I don't know. That just gets really frustrating how much, like, streaming-wise we're doing with just canceling shit that doesn't get, like, an absolutely stellar reaction on all fronts.
Exactly.
The only Star Wars show that I know of that we're getting a declared sequel to is Ahsoka, because it's Dave Filoni's baby. And Mandalorian might be getting more seasons. We don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Right. So, like, it's not like this thing actually bombed that hard, to be fair.
Right,
like,
it got views.
It wasn't like incredible, but, like, it started off pretty damn high, and it didn't end, like, on a flub. I believe it still performed higher than Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, like, on, like, total viewership for the whole series. Which, yes, those two also did not get renewed. But, like, still? I don't know. I don't like the industry standard this is setting.
That's what I was thinking. It's been very frustrating as a passive viewer of many things to see people so vehemently love or hate a show and decide its lifespan that way. Like, TV is so much different than movies. Like, back before the internet, TV shows went, like, 3 seasons automatically before, like, just based on episodes. Just based on views.
Yeah.
Right. So,
like, everybody's favorite TV show has, like, filler episodes.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. Like, there's always downtime.
TV has always been a slow burn.
Yeah, and, like, obviously we've shifted, especially, post The Wire, Sopranos, and Breaking Bad. Once we've moved into this, kind of what was like the golden era
TV show.
Yeah, and then that's teetered into the streaming stuff that we're in now, and it's like it spiked up, and it was really cool because we were getting like really tightly crafted stuff that was planned out for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And now it's just like
we got spoiled by that a little bit.
Yeah, and so many of these things either get, they get The Walking Deadified, where like it's just guaranteed to go on forever, or it gets canned, even though like they didn't like lose much. This show didn't even cost that much in comparison to the other like Star Wars TV shows. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like outrageously more expensive. That's frustrating. And obviously I fucking liked it, so of course I'm mad.
From Marvel.com, the Star Wars Battle of Jakku comic trilogy continues in Republic Under Siege. Last month, it was revealed that Marvel's Star Wars comic line would conclude its post-The Empire Strikes Back storytelling and enter a new post-Return of the Jedi era beginning in October. 3 limited series will tell the story of the Battle of Jakku, the epic final battle of the Galactic Civil War, and the saga that is one of the key events set between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. Following the debut series Star Wars The Battle of Jakku Insurgency Rising in October, the events continue this November in the second installment, Star Wars Battle of Jakku Republic Under Siege, which fans can see the covers and story details for today. I edit the script that we all read, and I include pictures, including the picture of the cover of this book. You should go to substack.com, dimecomicbros, subscribe to Substack, download the script that we're trying so desperately to read. We recognize some words and just fill in the blanks in between.
The cover is shiny.
Written by acclaimed award-winning author Alex Segura, and drawn by a trio of superstar artistic talent, Leonard Kirk, Stefano Raphael, and Jethro Morales, the Star Wars Battle of Jakku event will center around the never-before-told final moments of the Galactic Civil War. First introduced in Star Wars The Force Awakens as Rey scavenged amongst its wreckage, the Battle of Jakku was a pivotal turning point for the galaxy. On the sandy dunes of Jakku, the remnants of the Empire made their desperate last stand after their secret base was discovered by the Rebellion, who were determined to destroy them once and for all so that the new Republic can thrive. Now, fans will witness this pivotal moment in Star Wars canon for the first time ever. Star Wars Battle of Jakku Republic Under Siege, #1 of 4, is on sale November 20th.
So I was kind of ranting about this at you last night.
Yeah, you were.
I was. I probably should have saved most of it, but like, long story short, I actually think it's a good idea to make this new era a collection of smaller events that tie into each other rather than a pile of ongoing books, because there's so much ground to cover, but also a lot of it's really contentious material, whether the quality or like the creative choices are kind of not loved by the fan base across the board. I think this makes sense. It'll also probably be better for sales instead of having what'll end up being like 20 issues of a comic that'll take, however long, versus if it's like we have a few events month to month to month, we take a break, we do another thing, and if between the events there's like a couple year jump around, so that way there's still more flexibility for other like books and stuff to fill in the gaps, so it's not just 50 issues of Star Wars set between the 2 movies. Holy fuck. Great stuff, but like I just don't think that's gonna work here when you're trying to bridge 2 trilogies with differing receptions and all that junk.
Yeah.
Sounds neat. I might actually get these as they come out.
So is that article saying that we haven't actually seen the Battle of Jakku?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
The first Aftermath trilogy, the first book in the Aftermath trilogy kind of covered it, but from a different perspective and whatever, and it's been mentioned a billion times in like a billion places.
But we didn't see it in the movies.
No, we didn't see it, yeah.
I was too scared to ask.
So you know how after World War II there was like a whole fuck ton of Japanese soldiers who were just sitting on islands refusing to believe that the war was over?
Yeah.
That's basically what this is.
Gotcha.
Like, there's like, okay, the emperor is dead, but that doesn't mean that everything is immediately over. I mean, we can see that in like the Mandalorian era stuff, which is 7-8 years afterwards, like the New Republic is there, but they're still like kind of floundering, and there's still like a metric fuck ton of Imperial remnants around who are just like, no, I'm gonna be the next big guy. And then they get like stabbed in the face. So yeah, this is kind of like the epilogue, I guess. From Marvel.com, Hellverine blazes a fiery future in the Marvel Universe in new ongoing series. Because you demanded it. Me exclusively. I single-handedly willed this into existence.
It is your fault.
Yeah, I will take claim for this and everything else that's been going on in my life. Hellverine rides again. This December, the breakout character will headline his first ever ongoing series by writer and Hellverine co-creator Benjamin Percy and blazing hot artist Raphael Lenko. Following Hellverine's debut in last year's Ghost Rider / Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance crossover, which I talked about on the show, Hellfire was passed from father to son as Logan's son Akihiro, formerly known as Daken and a bunch of other things, took over the mantle in a 4-issue Hellverine limited series, which I will be talking about in about 10 minutes. That saga concluded today at time of writing, and now Percy will take this hellish journey to even darker depths as Akihiro embraces his demonic transformation and dives claws first into Marvel's superheroic landscape as well as its demonic underworld. The demonosi, if you will. It's Hellfire-fueled claw-slashing action in the mighty Marvel manner as Hellverine blazes a new path across the Marvel Universe. The demon Bagra Ghul possessed Wolverine, turning him into a killing machine, but Logan is no stranger to caging the beast within his soul, and the demon learned his heroic ways. Now it's resurrected Akihiro, and the two must learn to live as one, the Hellverine. But they can't do it alone. Enter Doctor Strange. Hellverine #1 on sale December 18th. I'm getting this because I really liked the miniseries. It did have some hit or miss elements, but I think that this character is really cool and interesting, and I like new shit. And I like new twists on old shit, because Daken has been around the block, and he's liked, but he has 15 different identities, and none of them have really stuck that well. And Percy killed him in the Wolverine run right towards the end of his tenure, and then the crossover. You're dying.
I am dying. I can't feel my legs anymore.
That's not good. Maybe you should just sit normal. Or don't. And the Weapons of Vengeance crossover was freaking cool.
Sorry.
I quite like that. And then I got the mini-series, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool. I like this. So I like this.
Yes.
I buy.
You also seem to like most of Benjamin Percy's stuff anyway.
I do. I've become kind of a mega fan. I'm not gonna lie. I think some of it started off with my massive pile of sympathy towards his time on Nightwing and how fucked in the ass he got, because that was some dog shit. And he's been very open about how he got fucked in the ass, basically. But yeah, he's really good. His Marvel books have been, I think he has an exclusive contract with Marvel right now. But he is really good at the bloody, angsty, I'm 14 and this is deep shit, with all due respect. And I like that. It's good to have in the rotation.
From Marvel.com, Negasonic Teenage Warhead #1 gives Marvel superstar mutant punk her first solo print comic. It's her first ever solo story. It arrives at local comic shops this November. The X-Men character who became
Train.
a breakout star thanks to her appearance in the Deadpool films was spotlighted in an acclaimed arc of Marvel's Voices Infinity comic on Marvel Unlimited last year. Now that entire saga by writer Andrew Wheeler and artist Carola Borelli will be collected in print for the first time in Negasonic Teenage Warhead #1. This one-shot will also include an all-new Negasonic adventure by Wheeler and artist Eleonora Carlini. This whirlwind story sees the young reality-warping telepath team up with Deadpool against the TVA in the name of love. Ellie Phemister is under arrest when the Time Variance Authority accuses Negasonic Teenage Warhead of a crime she has yet to commit. She'll have to go on the run to stop herself before the TVA does. It all comes down to a single moment in time, a choice future Ellie must face, which means now Ellie has 1 hour to find Yuki Ohara, her girlfriend from the future, who she's never met, kiss her, and save the multiverse. Good thing she has allies like Wait, no, Deadpool is not going to be helpful. Is anyone else available? Negasonic Teenage Warhead #1 is on sale November 6th.
I am split.
Yeah.
On the one hand, cool character getting spotlight. That's good. On the other hand, this smells of synchronicity.
Yeah.
And it makes stinky. But at least it's the writer from the previous bit who's I don't know. And also it's one issue. If it's just a one shot, like it's not gonna do like massive damage. If it's like, I don't know, that stupid TVA comic was supposed to be like 5 or 6 issues, and that's really fucking dumb. But this, at worst, it recollects the stuff that they've already done for the online comic, and that's cool. And this will cost like $8. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it said, she has been a character in X-Men stuff, but never like a lead. She's always like barely in it, like the C or D tier X-Men characters.
I mean, yeah,
so
there's like 400 D-list X-Men.
Yeah. So she'll get like a line or two for a story arc. So I want to say it's kind of just testing the waters, but it feels like it's 12 years too late. Like, you should have done this when Deadpool 1 came out.
Or at least Deadpool 2. I think Deadpool 2 might have been... She had a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. In between those two.
Yeah, because she had barely any role in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
So, a bit silly. From Entertainment Weekly, what if... ellipses, question mark... third and final season will be a very fulfilling culmination for the Watcher. While teasing the upcoming third and final season of Disney Plus's animated MCU series, Brad Winterbaum, Marvel Studios' head of streaming television and animation, revealed that it will end in a fulfilling way for Jeffrey Wright's narrator, Uatu the Watcher. It feels like the completion of a trilogy, Winterbaum says on Wednesday's episode of the official Marvel podcast. It takes us to places that you never'd expect. It goes beyond the first 2 seasons in its exploration of the multiverse, sure. It pulls in characters that are very unexpected, sure. And has what I think is a very moving and very fulfilling culmination for Uatu the Watcher. No date yet. Okay, the only thing about this show that I like on the whole is the Watcher. Like, that is the through line that I am here for, that I actually enjoy. Yeah. Every episode is really hit or miss because so much of it is just, but what if we crushed a butterfly and, like, this character became this character type shit? And that's really dumb, and most of the animation is pretty bad, so cringe. At least it's ending. At least they're letting it have 3 seasons, I guess, you know? Meh.
I think it has the same problem that a lot of the What If comics have. It's like, it's a very, very, very extremely specific what if in issue 325... this person made this choice instead. It's like that. It's so specific that it loses a lot of people. You need context around it.
Yeah, it doesn't. When it says like the multiverse of possibility, and it's like, okay, then show me some whack ass shit. And it's like, but what if Nick Fury teamed up with Loki, or punched Loki in the face? And it's like, but what if Thanos was like, okay? And it's like, okay, some of these have been interesting enough, but it just, meh.
I think we just made 2 totally different points. You're saying it's too generic, and I'm saying it's too specific.
I think it's both.
It has to be balanced somehow.
Of course, it's just so much of it is it's either like hyper specific.
Yeah.
What if Guardians of the Galaxy actually happened this way versus like really randomized, like bingo, fucking spin the wheel. What if Ultron became
the super generic stuff is like how it should have ended, basically.
Yeah,
from
weird.
Marvel.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird show. It's very all over the place. I can do the last 2. Your voice seems to be dying.
It's alright.
Okay.
From Polygon.com, all new Venom kicks off a high-stakes Marvel mystery later this year. Renowned comic writer Al Ewing, who is actually Spencer's real-life dad, is just like us.
He's just like me for real. How do you know he's not just me? How do you know? Have you ever seen us in the same room together? No, you haven't.
I've actually seen a picture of him, and he has a better beard.
Fuck you.
And more hair.
Fuck you.
He adores the Knives Out movies. He currently has Chappelle Rowan on rotation, and he's constantly thinking about cosmic entities battling in each other's mindscapes. I guess that's relatable. I don't know. I had to include that paragraph because this next paragraph didn't make any sense. But unlike us mere mortals, Ewing also spins epic comic book yarns with deeply psychological cores, as seen in Immortal Hulk, his tales in the Krakoan Age of X-Men, and his recent mind-bending run on Venom that suspiciously leaves out Immortal Thor. Sus.
Venom.
The latter is about to come to an end-ish with the recently launched series Venom War, which pits Eddie Brock against his son Dylan to avert what each former Venom host sees as a potential apocalypse. But some good news for fans of Ewing. He won't be saying goodbye to Eddie and Dylan when the Venom War is won. Polygon can reveal that Ewing and artist Carlos Gomez will team up for a scaled-down, earthbound continuation of the Venom story in Marvel's new ongoing series, All New Venom. The book arrives in comic book stores in December.
The big twist with this one is that it's a new host, and it's a mystery as to who the fuck the host is.
Oh.
And that's why the suit is different. I think this suit looks dope as fuck. I think the yellow looks great.
Yeah.
It looks so freaking cool. It is annoying that the symbiote's been getting bounced around between hosts so much recently, because Dylan's only been around for like 4 years now, and he's already been like aged up and gone through time travel shenanigans and stuff, and I haven't been following this run very closely. I haven't been reading it. Venom War looks fine, other than the fact that there's an artist on that I despise, so that's not good. But I don't know. Mystery books sound good. Al Ewing, good. Maybe I'll try to get caught up and hop on this, maybe. From HollywoodReporter.com, Crossed movie in the works from Da Boys creator Garth Ennis. Exclusive. Garth Ennis is ready to cross another comic book adaptation off his list. The creator, whose Preacher and Da Boys have already been adapted for TV, has penned a script for a movie adaptation of his comic Crossed. And now indie outfit 6 Studios has acquired the screenplay with an intention to finance and back the movie. Crossed takes place in a pandemic-stricken world in which those who catch a disease are marked with a cross-like rash on their faces. Those afflicted follow their worst impulses, think a zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, these are humans who retain their intelligence but are homicidal maniacs. So it sounds like downtown New York on a Friday. 6 Studios is now on the hunt for a director of the project, which they expect to be in the $2 to $3 million range, although that could increase for the right talent. The plan is to go into production in the fall. That is a really low budget for a movie like this. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It sounds cringe.
Really?
It sounds like ultimate Garth Ennis cringe.
That's true. I kind of like when Garth Ennis is edgy for no reason, a little bit. It can be mixed for sure.
I can be down with Garth Ennis cringe, like you said, but this one sounds like no, thank you. We'll see how it comes out.
True. Anywho's, vehicle. Mr. Lawn Boy is leaving.
I read a book.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
I read Hulk: Green Hulk / Red Hulk.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of Hulk.
Hulk.
It collects Hulk 2008 issues 1 through 8 or 1 through 9, something like that. And Hulk 2008 collected issues 1 and 2. Hulk 2008 single issues 1 through 9. It was a great big mess. It does the 1 through 9 issues first, like full issues, and then it ends with like pieces of some other series that only follow this story. As far as I know, this is the introduction of the Red Hulk. I didn't go crazy on the research, but when I typed in Red Hulk, this was like the oldest thing that popped up. So, Bruce Banner is sitting in a cell, and there's Hulk characters, I guess, getting killed off. The first one, the very opening of the first issue, is killed with a Hulk gun, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, who in the fucking built a Hulk gun? And some S.H.I.E.L.D. underling came up and was like, hey, we're missing the Hulk gun.
Nick Fury's hiding it behind his back, like, I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
We would never build a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, it was not written subtly at all. Tony Stark is the Shield. He's Nick Fury man of Shield, with Hill as his underling, which was kind of weird. I didn't know that had happened in comic history. And yeah, they finally figure out that there's a Red Hulk running around. So they run to Banner and be like, how did you change your color and do all these war crimes outside your cell? And he knows things somehow, but it was definitely part of, like, greater context that I don't have. A whole bunch of Hulk characters have a great big punch with the Red Hulk, and the Red Hulk goes into hiding, and by the end of the book, you don't even really have confirmation on who the Red Hulk is.
Oh, great.
And that's what most of the book is running on, is like, who's the Red Hulk? How does he lose his mustache when he transforms?
The people want to know.
Yes. This book was not very good.
Oof.
It needs a lot more context. It needs an answer. It kind of sucked having, like, literally 3 pages of some other issue to follow this trade. This story at the end of the trade. I don't get it. I don't understand why it got so chopped and hacked at the end. Like, why not just include more of the 2008 Hulk run? Does it just drop Red Hulk from then? After introducing him? I don't know. Very weird. 2 out of 5 stars. I got it for $2.
Oh, okay, that's a steal.
Pretty sure it was $2. Maybe 3.
Bullmoose?
Bullmoose.
Damn.
It had a pretty bad crack in the seam. I'd say about a third of the way through the book, but it wasn't the worst seam crack I've ever seen. Like, it was there, but I wasn't missing pages or anything. So,
damn.
Yeah.
$2 is $2, man.
Right.
That's
Can't
not
complain.
That's not even a coffee.
Right.
I read, as I alluded to earlier, Hellverine Resurrection, which is a 4-issue miniseries following Hellverine.
My book was written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Ed McGuinness.
I like those two. That sucks.
Yeah.
It is, 4-issue miniseries written by Benjamin Percy, with art by Julius Ota, and covers by Ryan Stegman, which are goated with the sauce, because of course they are. So it follows up. It's a pseudo sequel to the Weapons of Vengeance crossover during the Wolverine and Ghost Rider runs that happened last year, the year before. And this demon character that it possesses a Wolverine, but is kind of like a Ghost Rider, but like not really, and he's both and he's not, is going out and doing killings, and they're like, hey, Logan, what's going on? You don't have that thing anymore, right? That's not you. And he's like, oh, it's not me, bub. And then he goes and fucks around and finds out, and then it turns out it's his son, as kind of we talked about earlier, Akihiro, who recently died during the Wolverine run. He's been brought back to life because, they're similar people with similar powers and whatever. So the demon is like, I'll live in this guy's body, actually. This is fine. The B plot, or technically the A plot, but like the way less interesting part is this is all part of Project Hellfire, which is run by an evil general who's made a deal with Mephisto, because of course, and he has demon horns that he hides under his hat, which I thought was very funny. It's just like the Pentagon being like, you know what we should do? We should like have demon soldiers and stuff.
Yeah,
that's the actual A plot, where there's a bunch of demon soldiers running around doing shit, but like I didn't find that very engaging.
They clearly haven't played Doom.
True. By the end of it, Akihiro has died and come back to life again. Logan temporarily took the power away from him and then shoved it right the fuck back in, because he was like, you know what? My son is better at this than I am, actually. I think he can deal with it. And then those soldiers are then put in charge of after their minds are fixed, they're put in charge of Project Hellfire, because if we can't destroy it, then we should put better people in charge of it instead of literally bad people who work with the devil. Really weird plot. For 4 issues, it felt kind of crammed. The issues also felt small. I don't know if there was a different page count or more ads or whatever. Writing was good, other than like normal military general being a dickhead type stuff. Just very 7 out of 10 movie type B plot. But the relationship explored between Logan and his son I thought was done pretty well for such a short period of time, and with a character I'm not very familiar with. I've only bumped into him in a couple of event books. Julius Ota's art is frankly really hit or miss. Either he knocks it the fuck out of the park, or it's like pretty rough. So I'm assuming it's probably deadline problems, which sucks. So like 2.5 of these were amazing looking, and the other ones were like, it's fine. Nothing abhorrent, but it definitely fluctuated, which is a disappointment, but also probably something that gets better with time. I think he's on the younger end of things. He's pretty early in his career. He's kind of like what's the term? He's red hot or whatever the fuck. He's new. He's a greenie, I guess. He's up and coming, hot.
Greenhorn?
Something like that. So I expect his stuff will even out. I bought this issue by issue. The trade isn't out yet for obvious reasons. It just concluded. Each issue was the usual Marvel $4. So for $16, I'm assuming that's what the trade's going to cost. Maybe $14 for the trade because it is only 4 issues. I will read this again. I'll eventually buy the trade. I am really hoping that the entire Benjamin Percy Wolverine run gets an omnibus and the Ghost Rider run gets an omnibus, and then this is in one of the 2 or both or whatever. I think that there's a good way to collect these, so I don't necessarily want like the trade because 4 issues for a trade is pretty small. But I'm mucho happy. I read. It was good fun.
How much you buy for?
I just said it.
I'm sorry.
You are dead. Bro, it's cooked.
It's pretty incredible when the headache can move from like the base of my neck all the way to like the front of my third eye. Like, how? Shoot me in the head.
I don't know.
Just right there, all the way through to the base of the neck. Take out all the painful parts.
I do not know how pain works, to be honest. It's very confusing to me.
I watched your favorite movie ever.
Oh, dear Lord.
It has Sydney Sweeney in it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Sydney Sweeney's not even the hottest person in the movie, but okay.
It has Dakota Johnson in it.
Thank you.
I didn't take the bait.
I knew as soon as you said it, I knew what you were talking about, man.
I even tried, like, not saying I watched this movie. I was like, yeah, my dad was watching it. I was like, I don't want to engage.
Yeah, but then that gave it away. Because it was then it put it in my mind.
Then I said, fuck it, and I'll watch it too.
Oh, why?
Because I haven't, and it's been... Wow, I thought it had been a year already. It hasn't been a year already.
Okay, it's been like a few months.
Ugh. I watched Madam Webb.
Why did they make the bad bitches fight in the movie? I want to see them all be friends.
I have a positive.
Oh, gosh. What?
Every once in a while, there was no rhyme or reason to it. There was a cool shot. There was, like, she crashes a taxi into a restaurant, there's a cool shot where she, like, backs up and turns, kind of doing a Maverick, and it slings glass everywhere. And that slinging glass everywhere as she's backing up and turning was really cool. There's a couple little things like that.
There is I can't remember the name of the director of photography, but like the director and the director of photography were like actually really good picks for this. They're just like no control.
Every once in a while, you could see something like that, and you were like, "Oh, somebody was trying! Holy fuck!" Yeah. I had to do this in 3 sittings.
Oh, that's rough.
The first one was like, alright, not bad, but I'm getting bored. The second one, I did like 10 minutes. It was like, I can't fucking do this right now. I don't have the mental power to just hate my life like this. And then the third one was like, I need a talking point tomorrow. I need to just push through this.
Dude, imagine getting crushed by a Pepsi sign.
Nothing makes sense. Character motives don't make sense. It's literally just, you need to come with me because the plot demands it. For most of the movie.
Genuinely one of the most, like, choppy-ass fucking movies I've ever seen that isn't, like, meant to be a chopped-up fucking... Like, this is so bad. You could put it in you could put the film in a blender and then tape it all back together and it would probably still be more coherent.
Or at least the same. I think this is the only thing I've seen Dakota Johnson in, and her acting was substandard.
She was the only one who knew what type of movie she was in. And
yeah.
I don't care. Fuck
this. And you could tell.
Oh, yeah.
It was not a good performance. There's certainly other people that are trying.
I like Uncle Ben. I don't like any of the jokes, and none of it makes any fucking sense at all, and I hate it, but, like...
He's certainly trying. Sydney Sweeney was trying. She was, like... She seemed to be, like... have that kind of bitch attitude of, like, oh, I can outclass Dakota Johnson right now? I will.
Yeah, fair.
Not saying that she was a bitch. It was just, like... She was taking the opportunity by the horns.
Yeah.
And did.
She can take me by the horns. Not Peter Parker is born.
CG was awful.
So bad.
It's nonsense. It does. I enjoyed Morbius a lot more, which isn't saying much. But I've spent all year listening to people try to figure out which one's worse, Morbius or Madam Web.
This one's definitely worse.
Yeah, this one's definitely worse. Morbius, I walked out, it was like, there were plenty of things where I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea that they could have done and wasted the potential. Like, so many good ideas that got lost in translation or cutting board or whatever. And this was just nothing. It was just awful. This felt like early 2000s Marvel, or 90s maybe even, Marvel trying to figure out how to make a superhero movie, and they accidentally made X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, it's worse than that.
It is.
I at least kind of will watch that at gunpoint. I'd rather get shot in the head than watch Madam Web.
So, like, with that one, they were like, we want to include Deadpool. And executives were like, we can't do Deadpool. He says the fuck word all the time. Well, what if we sew his mouth shut? What if we have katanas come out of his arms? Like, it's an idea. It's a stupid idea. But at least somebody tried somewhere. Madam Web, you can't even say that. Like, it's bad. I don't even have a rating yet.
No.
I gotta figure that out right now. See how it compares to the rest of the movies this year. It's definitely going near the bottom.
I'm pretty confident it is...
1.5 stars in your book.
That is correct. It is, like 6 from the bottom in my book for this year. It's number 57 out of all the movies I've seen.
Give that 2 stars? Ugh.
It's above Borderlands, actually.
I was just trying to figure out... Yeah, I'm probably gonna make it the same as Borderlands. 1 star.
Woof.
Yeah. I don't know which side of Borderlands it's going on, but it's 1 star.
Big ouch.
Out of 5.
Oh.
But I watched it for free on Netflix that I don't even pay for, so I guess there's that.
Wicked. I read Waller vs. Wildstorm, which is a DC Black Label series. It's 4 issues, written by Spencer Ackerman, with art by Evan Narcisse and Eric Battle. This is a very complicated book, so I'm going to unironically just read the description, because I feel like this is a better... I have difficulty describing it, because I'm stupid. In the early 1980s, as the Cold War stubbornly refuses to thaw, a new battle heats up for the soul of the intelligence agency Checkmate. As the agency's superheroic public face, Jackson King, aka the Armored Batalon, former leader of Stormwatch and the symbol of American might, has long suspected that Adeline Kane is up to dirty tricks overseas, engineering horrors that betray everything he believes about service to one's country. But King doesn't know that Kane has a clever new ally, an ambitious young woman named Amanda Waller. Wonder where I've heard that name before. She has her own ideas about how metahumans can serve their country, and honor, dignity, and long lives don't factor into them. National Security reporter Spencer Ackerman... I'm going to drop that. This should be so far up my ass. It's written by an actual war journalist, going over actual war crimes, well, fictional war crimes, but like actual real politic. And it's mostly engaging, but it's really dry, and I don't usually mind that, but it also jumps around in time a lot, which I think is one of my bigger negatives. A lot of the first 2 issues are an interview between Jackson King and Lois Lane, heard that name before, where he's trying to like spill all these secrets and she's not quite doing her job right, and he's getting fed up with it. And there's so many different warring factions and different ideologies and different agencies and sub-agencies and committees and all this stuff, and it's very coherent. It just wasn't engaging, which is really disappointing, because like on paper I should fucking love this. Most of the characters are all fine enough. My favorite one, I guess, is Lois Lane because of course. And also, Deathstroke makes a couple of appearances, and he's also primarily out of the Deathstroke suit, and he just actually cracks the funniest jokes in the book. I understand why this one kind of came and went under the radar. It got announced, it came out pretty quickly, and then was just like there. The art is very good. It is... I'm so artistically like illiterate that I can only compare things to other things, but like it has a similar-ish style to, say, like the anatomy of like Gary Frank. Like there's certain ways, like it's not necessarily the same texturing or the same tone, but the way that bodies move and are framed and stuff, it's kind of framed like a movie, like a political thriller, which is good. I enjoy that. There's just so many freaking moving parts, and for 4 issues, I feel like it probably could have justified 6 to thin it out a little bit more, and then get a little bit more into not necessarily personal motivations, but a bit more meat on each character to get engaged with, rather than like, then this person represents this ideology, and then this person is co-opting this ideology, and it's like that all makes sense, and I like it, but there isn't much beyond that other than like the book is pretty to really get with, I guess. It is cool bringing in all of the Wildstorm stuff, because the Wildstorm got bought up by DC a while back, and they have been integrated into the main universe quite a bit, but I think this corner of the universe is definitely where it makes the most amount of sense. It should be in the Checkmate and Leviathan kind of agencies, Black Ops area, and I think that that's cool. I just wish I liked this one more. It didn't even make me like upset or mad. I was just like, I read it. Dang. I think I give it a 3 out of 5. I can't knock it more because it was interesting and it looked good. It just didn't capture me.
I wanted to read that one. It looked good, but I was waiting for it to be in a trade.
It came out pretty recently.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Maybe you'll like it, but I have a feeling the things that I have a problem with are the things that you're typically more invested in than I am. Like, I think this has less for you in it.
Interesting.
Maybe not. I bought it for $25 at Jetpack.
Is it like the one we mentioned earlier that was like straight book mostly?
No. It is a comic. It is a regular ass. The other history of the DC.
Yes, thank you.
No, it is not.
Okay.
I kind of think it would have been more interesting like that, actually.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Just because there is so much freaking dialogue and so much stuff to go over.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can try it. It's $25.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it again. I
It
might.
sat as issues on the shelf for
a long
so frigging long.
Yeah. I might read it again in a while to see if I kind of click some more stuff.
Pick up on nuance.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
meh.
Cool.
You know what's not nuanced? Giving us money at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network. Give us money so we can waste them on stupid books and fun doodads and coffee.
Need more coffee.
Caitlin and Jeff Lawrence have supported us on Patreon for quite a long time, and we greatly appreciate their
I just want to point out,
cheddar cheese.
we say it every single week. We mix it up sometimes. We say Jeff Lawrence and Caitlin. But I just want to point out that Jeff Lawrence is not Caitlin's wife. They're two separate beings. It's not like a power couple that's supporting us. It's two people that give us their monies.
One person just legally doesn't have a last name.
Yeah, it's true.
True.
It's like
G.
Jock.
Ah.
Jock
Jock. Yes, Jock.
has 4 letters to himself. That's it.
True. True.
And everybody knows him.
Yes.
If he's a him.
Yes.
Jock is a him.
Jock is a him.
Jock isn't
like
like...
jockstrap.
That's terrible.
I know.
Jock isn't like a sexless eternal being.
No. Jock's just like an edgy dude.
Oh. Alright.
If you want to get early access to all of our podcast episodes and exclusive access to happy hour segments where we sit down, usually crack open a beer, have a drink, talk about anything that pops into our little pea brains, that is also exclusive to our Patreon. Big thank you to Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire for helping support this show. We like to shop there. Like I said, this episode, I bought a book there.
Yep.
And I bought my issues there too. So, you know.
You have other issues that you did not buy there.
That is true.
Come on, it was a joke.
That is very true. That is very true.
Imagine if you could buy those kinds of issues there. You would. You'd double up. Hi, Kyle. I'd like to buy alcoholism, and I'll buy a pack of Zins too.
I mean, I can certainly find books about those topics, which helps.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just throw candle addiction on top. Like, why not?
Did you say candle?
Yes. I'm trying to make it a bit.
I just didn't. My brain.
Fine. I'll say let's just sprinkle autism on top too.
That's implicit when you walk in the door. It's a comic book shop. Tune in next week.
Yes.
For stuff.
We will do a thing.
We will do a thing with Colin. We will not do Colin, but we will do a thing with him.
Maybe.
To him?
At him.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yes.